Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today in this demonstration of Cryptoworth. We'll jump right into the product and walk you through the platform. The first thing you want to set up is your organization users. So if you head over to the icon at the bottom left of your screen and go to organization, you'll be able to set up your admins and normal access users. Admins can see every entity that you create, and normal access users cannot see any entity unless an admin gives them explicit access. You'll probably start off with no entities in the beginning when you're creating your account for the first time. So when you are ready to create your first entity, all you do is click on Create Entity on the top of your screen and go ahead and name your entity. So you can name your entity, let's say Company A in this example, select your reporting currency. So this should be the reporting currency of your jurisdiction, or even more so importantly, the same currency of your accounting software if you're connecting Cryptoworth to another system like Xero, NetSuite, etc. And you even have the selection of your time zone, so the time zone of your entity. Why is this important? Because blockchain data exchange data just defaults to UTC standard time, so you can have more accurate reporting. And then you can also check on setting up your calculation method. So when you're setting up your entity, you're also pre-selecting your calculation mode. So any of these accounting methodologies, which you can change after the fact, after creating your entity if you need to. And then you would just click on Create Entity. So we'll head back into the entities list. Jumping into an entity, let's go ahead and enter this entity here, define NFT. This is the entity we're going to demonstrate. Any entity that you enter will default to the homepage. So the homepage is a high-level summary of what's going on in your workspace in terms of the fiat value of all your positions, which includes spot positions and DeFi positions. So we separate these two types of balance positions into two different buckets for your balance sheet reporting. And you'll even be able to see a high-level breakup of how comprised of the portfolio is towards some assets versus others. So you have some charts, graphs that you can leverage. Jumping into the accounts page, this is where you would connect your connections, such as your wallet addresses, custody platforms, exchange APIs, etc. If you're connecting any kind of API, it would be a read-only or query-only permission API. All you would do is click on Connect, search for the exchange or blockchain that you want to connect. So let's say Binance, click on the exchange and input your read-only API key. Now you can sync transactions. You can choose to sync only balances with any connection. So you have full customization that you can do with Cryptoworth. We do have a bulk import feature. So if you have 100, 200 wallets, you want to import everything in an efficient manner. So you can click on bulk import, click on the template here, and you'll be able to copy and paste your wallet address list, indicate the chain, and then import the entire wallet list directly into your accounts page. This is going to be the quickest way to set up. So once you have all your connections set up in Cryptoworth, all your data will sync. Transaction data, balance data, any kind of DeFi positions, everything will be synchronizing into your software instance. And if you want to update the connections, all you have to do is click on one button, Sync All. So when you click on Sync All, it'll update all your balances and transactions up to date. If you want to connect into another system and use Cryptoworth as your subledger, you can connect to QuickBooks, Xero, NetSuite, any other accounting software that we support here, just by clicking on Connect, and it'll show you a login. And once you log into the software of your choice, it'll establish that API connection. So that's what this is showing here, connected. If we click on View, this button here, you'll be able to set up your GL account mapping. This is a one-time mapping where you can map your default account, asset level accounts, connection level account. So the level of granularity that you want to see your financial reporting in the general ledger software is decided here in the general ledger account mapping on Cryptoworth. So you have full control of the granularity. So just to explain this at a high level, you can have your gain, loss account, fee account, and default account at the global level. You can have your asset level account by token assets, exactly how it sounds. So GL accounts by asset. You can also have GL accounts mapped by connection. So by exchange account, by wallet. So I can show you what this looks like. Click on connection, map connection. Let's go ahead and choose a wallet, and you would map the default account based off your chart of accounts for that specific connection. Now, of course, you have a lot more options that you can use, like your wallet level gain, loss account, fee account, etc. You even have the ability to go as granular as mapping geo accounts by asset per connection. So you have that capability on Cryptoworth. Now you do have all 3 levels of mapping, a geo account mapping available for unrealized gain or loss as well. So at the connection level, asset level, or global level. So all of these geo account mappings are tied to being as flexible as possible for your needs. Exiting from here, we'll go to the reconciliation page. So this is a very important part of Cryptoworth, measuring data completeness of your connections. So how do you know if your connections that you set up have data completeness? Well, in the reconciliation page, you can run reconciliation. What this does is it'll run through the reconciliation process that we have in place in Cryptoworth. And this includes your sanity check, which is a major value add of using Cryptoworth, because we can check the token balances from your transaction data and cross-check it with the reported balances from the blockchain if we're talking about a wallet, or from the API if we're talking about an exchange. In Cryptoworth, we are able to measure the discrepancy in an automated fashion by calculating the token balances per connection. In this case, in this example that you see here, by wallet, based on the transaction data that's synchronized into your ledger, and we cross-check it with the reported balance, which would be defined as the blockchain balance, or the balance queried from the API if we're talking about an exchange or custody platform. So because we have these 2 data points, we're able to see if you have data completeness in the ledger. We let you decide the threshold of what you consider to be a gap. So it's based on materiality, not token unit amount. So in your entity settings, you can decide if that threshold is a penny, 10 cents, a dollar. You fully control the materiality. So if it's under that threshold, our system will consider that account or connection as reconciled. Heading to the transactions page, this is where your ledger takes place in Cryptoworth. This is where the bookkeeping will happen, categorization of transactions, classification of transactions. Before you even set up your chart of accounts to categorize your transactions with, there's a ton of automations that are happening right out of the box. So for example, our system is automatically reading the blockchains and exchanges that you have connected to Cryptoworth to not only make the ledger more readable by tagging these types of transactions like staking rewards, fees, deposits, withdrawals, trades, derivatives, etc., NFTs as well. It not only makes the ledger more readable, it also makes it more capable of leveraging automation rules to automatically classify your transactions with. So this is what exactly is showing here. So staking rewards, gas fees, these are being automatically classified in Cryptoworth using the transaction tag. And we'll go into this in just a moment. Another automation that Cryptoworth does is it will automatically ignore any transaction from the blockchain that is considered to be an unsupported asset. So if you have a lot of spam tokens that are entering your ledger, although you still see them in Cryptoworth because we match 1-to-1 with the blockchain at all times, the ignored behavior will appear, which means the line item is being ignored from the cost basis calculation and your financial reports. These transactions will not sync into your general ledger, whether it's QuickBooks, NetSuite, etc. Now you can filter them out from your view. We have a lot of comprehensive filters that you can leverage. So I can say supported assets only, and voila, now we can see the transactions that we care about. Initially, these transactions will synchronize from your data sources to your ledger without any financial figures. Calculating cost basis, proceeds, and capital gain or loss is our second major automation that we offer at Cryptoworth. So this is done with the click of a button. So all you would have to do is click on the blue calculate button on the top right of your screen. What does calculate insinuate? Well, if you click on the configuration wheel here, it'll tell you all the details. So my calculation is set to FIFO. So you have all of these accounting methodologies that you can work with. And I have my FIFO calculation set to per connection. So account-based FIFO. You can move it to universal level if you want to do universal method. So you fully control how your calculation for your cost basis works in Cryptoworth. Because of this, we're able to serve pretty much any jurisdiction because you can modify the cost basis calculation to fit within the reporting guidelines of your jurisdiction. Clicking that calculate button will generate the financial figures per line item. So your costs, proceeds, capital gain or loss as well. So if you have any capital gain or loss, you'll see that in the details of your transaction. And not only that, but the cost basis calculation upon completion generates your financial reports. So heading to the reports page, we generate over 30 financial reports turnkey in Cryptoworth that you can leverage before you even decide to bridge this data into another ERP. So you can actually use Cryptoworth as your general ledger software, or you can use Cryptoworth as your subledger. So depending on how you navigate the reports page might change the way you do things depending on that strategy. So when you run that cost basis calculation, it automatically generates all the financial reports within your crypto calculation group. And we'll go over a few of the user favorites. So for example, main calculation, this goes over your high level financials for the end period of your choosing. So for example, here I ran a calculation as of July 1st, 2025, and you can see all the cost basis, proceeds, realized gain or loss for this period. So moving down, you can see the breakdown by asset. So you have all these granular financials, and you can export all of this information. We have a ton of different financial reports that you can export for your records. Moving on to another favorite of our clients is the unrealized gain loss report. This is a favorite because you can run the cost basis calculation as of any end period and see your ending period inventory either by asset or by connection. So you can even see the per asset per connection view of your unrealized gain or loss and ending period inventory. So you can see the unit price, cost basis of that inventory, current market value, which would always be as of the end date of your cost basis calculation. And if you want to mark to market your inventory, which would have this cost, the book value, you'll be able to market your inventory in your general ledger, let's say QuickBooks, for example, by syncing your unrealized gain or loss. So current market value would be the actual market value of your inventory, not your cost basis. That would be your book value. So this is a favorite. And then a major report that a lot of our users love is our snapshots. So the snapshots will show a snapshot every single day of all your token positions, not just at the asset level, but also at the connection level. And it's not limited to spot positions. We also track DeFi positions as well. So we always track DeFi positions, whether it's on Uniswap, SushiSwap. We support over 700 plus DeFi protocols, staking on EVM, non-EVM. All of those positions are tracked via the snapshots that are running automatically every single day by default at midnight, but you can change the time zone, the date of the snapshots, so that way you have that information readily available to you. When you're ready to bridge the data into your general ledger software, QuickBooks, for example, here I'm going to showcase the example of QuickBooks because that's what I've connected. All you would do is click on the drop down here and you can decide to sync your journal entries. So sync realized data, what this does is it'll synchronize all the journal entries for every transaction line item that you have. And if you synchronize your unrealized gain or loss, that's a second operation. So you can finalize the books by syncing your unrealized gain or loss for the month end period. Now, let's say you have hundreds of thousands of transactions. You don't want to synchronize hundreds of thousands of journal entries. That's going to be overwhelming for your general ledger. So what you can do in Cryptoworth is roll up your transactions by selecting them all for the period of your choosing. Bulk action, advanced transaction rollup. So you can decide to roll up by day, week, or month. And once you're ready to roll up, you can roll up your transactions by clicking a button here. And the system will make sure that you don't have data loss by ensuring that certain transactions can roll up when they qualify to do so. So for example, incoming events can only roll up with incoming events. They have to be tagged the same way or not tagged. Has to be the same asset. So that way you don't have data loss from how many tokens are in that batch roll up. And that way you can synchronize all the journal entries in a consolidated format. So let's say you have 100,000 incoming events in 1 month. Well, you will have 30 events to synchronize, 30 transaction line items in a consolidated format to synchronize into your ERP. So the rollups make a huge difference if you have a lot of volume. On Cryptoworth, if you want to set up a subscription, it is a very quick action item. Just go to the website, cryptoworth.com, and go to pricing. And in the pricing page, you have either monthly subscriptions or annual subscriptions. If you choose to be billed annually, you do benefit from our discount. If you choose to move forward monthly, it is full price, and we do have 12-month commitments. So really the convenience is if you want to be billed monthly or annually for the discount. If you want to get started, all you want to do is click on Start Today for the business tier that is appropriate for you. So let's go ahead and get started today. It'll jump you straight to the subscription setup page. So what you'll want to do is enter your first and last name, your organization name, company email, and password. Now that I've put in all my details, I'm going to go ahead and do my CAPTCHA, sign up, and it'll throw you into the billing subscription page. So once you're in the billing details page, all you have to do is input your billing details and you can go ahead and subscribe right away. Thank you for watching this video. We look forward to welcoming you as a customer at Cryptoworth.